I know it's been a long time since we talked direct side, bro. No, I am not a financial advisor, nor do I play one on my own radio show. This is strictly educational and entertainment only in my own personal opinions and beliefs on the market. Phil, do you got that? Phil! Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing, a quick morning update here. Not really a whole lot going on in the coin world. We're just going to pick some of these hot coins out. Quant's pumping a little bit. We'll take a look at that. You can see we're into the thick of the moving averages right now. Probably something we talked about in Quant yesterday. As we know, we have an underneath target of 179, but we have an upper target on a pump way up here where you have major upper resistance there, you have major upper resistance there, and you have major upper resistance where we were talking about, I'm sure, yesterday in Quant, up into the thick of the moving averages where you're at now. You can see at a little volume spike, and now you're in between the 50 and the 200, getting rejected on the 100 in blue, but getting supported on the 50 in red, right? So we'll see what happens here. Do you trade here and get rejected and come back down? That's option one. Or can you try to bounce on top of the 50 and then bounce on top of the 200 and then trade up into that direction? That's what we're going to watch out for in Quant today. Let's take a look at some of the other movers today. We're going to go on a mover. We're only going to the movers today, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. XRP is at $1.25. You can see we've come and back tested now, like we were talking about here, where we had that circle at $1.08 at the 200-day moving average. Then we said you could come down here, right? Back down to the $1.07 and then maybe bounce, right? And you bounced off the $1.10 instead of the $1.06, right? And now you bounced up where we showed you your upper target one could be here. And then we have another target up there, right? That we're looking to see if we can't break that. But we're back testing this pattern right here now. So we really don't have any volume. So what you got to watch out for is exactly what we were talking about the last few days in XRP. Just extend that into the future and extend that down into the future. Now, do you get rejected by this overhead resistance up here, right? You start trading into this and then fall. Do you do that? Is that as option one now that you're up there? You can see we did make that bounce. We almost came down there. We hit that first target. Or do you help on top of this now as we do some live TA and then you start to trade up like that? That's what we're going to watch out for in the next few days in XRP. How does that all play out? Personally, I think you're going to start to get rejected off it and you're going to take option A, right here. That's what I think you're going to take. It's very less likely and less probable that you take option B in purple, right? So that's what's going on in the XRP. Let's go to some of these altcoins. I seen some popping earlier. The one that's has a great phenomenal marketing campaign, Proton. It sounds like XRP, but it's like XPR or whatever the fuck. Yeah, XPR. So you can see right now, after we had that huge spike up there, right? We didn't come back down. We did come back and retest that right there. And now we bounced off the 200-day moving average. So what I would be looking for in this is, can you get on top of this and start trading back up in the form something like that, which would be a fabulous, glowing, all jabroni enticing, gorgeous double top, right? And then maybe trade back down to the 200-day. That would be going like that, right? That's what you could be doing there. Or you're going to start getting rejected and then trade back down some of these underneath targets. That's what we're going to watch out for in the XPR, right? And then let's see anything else flying. Oh, there we go. The flame. We were talking about this yesterday. Remember yesterday we were talking about this? We had an underneath target of $1.18, which it hit. And then we said you could go to $1.50, or we had this upper target up here. When we're going over, we said the moving averages could beat you down back here, right? The other day, which they did on the 5th and then 6th. They beat you all the way down to the 50-day moving average. That's why we had it on it. Move it into the future because that's when it ended up hitting it. And then we had this upper target up here on a possible break up to this volume indicator, right? Remember when we were talking about right here? That's where all your volume's traded at, and that's major upper resistance. And we went over with this. If you bounced off the 100-day moving average in blue and traded up to the volume indicator, that would have been a 29.69% to 31.69% move up. But major overhead resistance is right there at that volume indicator. So I'm thinking it's going to trade down from there. It bounced off the 100-day like we thought beautifully. Now you're hitting that overhead resistance of the volume indicator. You can see that big wick, right? And then it had some sell pressure because there's overhead sell pressure there because that the volume indicator is there where your major volume's been traded. Like if we take this and we put that right here to right there and drag that over, bring that up to the next candle up, you can see that's your major volume traded area right there in that area. And that's where you're getting rejected by right now temporarily. And that's what we thought would happen if you got supported off the 200 and the farther out time frames. Now the 200's up here in the hour, and then that would be a heavily traded area and it would consolidate. And now when you consolidate here, you're going to have to hold this support to try to bounce up, right? If you fall back to the moving average and then come back up and get rejected, that's how you would start to trade down, right? So we're going to keep an eye on that. Our first target to the pump hit, I'm thinking it's going to get rejected off this. That's why I was giving that warning yesterday if you want to try to play off the 200-day or 2 days ago. If you're looking for a swing trade, that's where you would play it from the 200-day and the 3-hour or 4-hour time frame. It was in the 4-hour time frame in this case, right there. And then you play it to the overhead resistance. Or if you got really excited, you try to play it all the way to a double top. But the for sure, the more of a probability-based trade would have been to play it from the 200-day right there in blue, or the 100-day in blue, all the way up to the volume indicator, which the upper end of it was at $2.54, and the lower end of it was $2.30, and that's a phenomenal trade. So congratulations anybody that took that trade off the moving average. And then we already talked about, did we talk about that one? No. And then this is another big mover. I'm not really sure. Yeah, we did talk about this sometime. I don't remember the last time we talked about it. Somebody brought this up. Yeah, you see that? We were in this descending triangle. Or, yeah, a symmetrical triangle, and we were just playing the pattern. And then in the last time we talked, we didn't know what it was going to do, but it broke up past that volume indicator and then shot way up, right? So that's a phenomenal breakout. But that's what happens when you don't have a lot of data. This coin's so new, there's really nothing to go off. You just got to kind of draw lines and see what happens. And then now as that breaks out, see if it holds any kind of significance on the way back down. You can see that right there. You see it did hold significance. It broke up. Hold on. Let's move back. It broke up. We don't want to use that. It broke up right here with our industry exclusive purchasing tool. You see this? It broke up and then came back down and held it as support, came back down and held it as support, then came up and then came back down and held it as support with the 200 and then made another leg up, right? So see that? It did hold significance. So if this thing starts to die out and starts to trade up a little bit more and then trade down to the 200-day and back test it, that would be another buying opportunity to kick back up, right? So we'll keep an eye on that to see what happens in whatever that is. Like, subscribe, and share. Peace and love. Subscribe, share. Peace and love.